Virtual Boy Warioland is a 1995 platform game developed and published by Nintendo for the Virtual Boy. It stars Wario, who finds himself deep underground after stumbling upon a treasure-filled cave and must find his way back to the surface. Throughout the journey, the player explores and searches for items and power-ups while fighting enemies and defeating bosses. Wario has the ability to jump between the background and foreground at certain points, making use of Virtual Boy's stereoscopic 3D effect. Virtual Boy Warioland was developed by a large portion of Nintendo R&D 1 staff involved. It was co-directed by Hiroji Koyatake and Hirofumi Matsuoka and produced by Gunpei Yoko. The music was composed by Kazumi Tataka, being his final project with R&D 1. The game received generally favorable reviews, particularly in retrospect, receiving praise for its gameplay and 3D depth, but criticism focused on its short length. It is considered one of the best Virtual Boy games, and its background gimmick served as inspiration for games including Donkey Kong Country Returns in 2010 and Mutant Mudds in 2012. Gameplay. Following the gameplay of Warioland Super Mario Land 3, Virtual Boy Warioland is a side-scrolling platform game starring Wario. The premise follows Wario on vacation in the Amazon River Basin, relaxing at the Aldagaria waterfall. After being awoken by a beaver, Wario notices strange creatures entering behind the waterfall and decides to follow them. Wario stumbles upon a cave full of treasure and attempts to claim it as his own. However, he collapses deep underground and must find his way back to the surface. The player controls Wario across 14 floors consisting of non-linear levels. The goal of each level is to collect treasures and find a key to unlock an elevator to the next floor. Wario can jump or run into enemies to knock them down. Stun enemies can be picked up and thrown at other enemies or clouds that give coins. Wario can also perform a shoulder charge or body slam to attack enemies and break blocks. There are 3 power-ups Wario can equip, including a bull hat that increases his strength, an eagle hat that allows him to fly and attack in the air, and a fire-breathing dragon hat. Wario can combine the eagle and the dragon hats into the King Dragon hat, granting him all 3 skills. Wario has the ability to leap between the background and foreground using jump pads. In most levels, the player needs to navigate between the 2 planes to explore and search for items, or avoid enemies and obstacles that move between the planes. If Wario takes damage, he will shrink, losing his power until he picks up a clove of garlic or a hat. If Wario is hit while small, he loses a life and all the coins he had collected in that level. Every 3 floors, Wario must fight bosses that make use of Virtual Boy's stereoscopic 3D effect. Between floors, there are mini-games where Wario can gamble the loot he has collected so far. Each level in the game contains one of 10 artifacts hidden inside secret chambers, and the ending depends on whether Wario found them all and the coins he collected. Development and release. Virtual Boy Warioland was developed by a large number of Nintendo R&D 1 staff involved. It was co-directed by Hiroji Koyatake and Hirofumi Matsuoka, who had previously served as director and artist on Mario Paint, and produced by Gunpei Yoko. Satoshi Matsumura acted as one of the game's co-programmers, while the music and sound effects were composed by Kazumi Tataka, being his final project with R&D 1. Tataka included a song called Tataka's Song, an Easter egg that he hides in most of the video games he composes during the game's closing credits. Like all other Virtual Boy games, Virtual Boy Warioland employs a red and black color scheme and uses parallax, an optical trick used to simulate 3D. The game was first shown at E3 1995 under the name Wario Cruise, intended for release on September 21, 1995 in Japan and October 1995 in North America. It also made another appearance at Shinshinaki 1995 under its final title, Virtual Boy Warioland. The North American release was titled Wario's Treasure Hunt before launch. Nintendo published the game in North America in November 1995, followed by Japan on December 1, 1995. Virtual Boy Warioland will be added to the Nintendo Classic service at a future date. The game requires the use of an additional accessory for play, which is used to recreate the stereoscopic 3D effect of the original system. The accessory will be available in two formats, a plastic mount based on the original system, and a cardboard sleeve. Reception. Virtual Boy Warioland received generally favorable reception from critics upon release, with most criticism directed at the Virtual Boy hardware itself. Nintendo Power felt that the game made excellent use of the Virtual Boy hardware with some of the 3D graphics and gameplay elements. Los Angeles Times' Aaron Curtis found the game to be enjoyable but disliked the Virtual Boy's visual style, while Rocky Mountain News' Joel Easley said its use of 3D demonstrated the possibilities of the Virtual Boy. GamePro considered it the best Virtual Boy game, celebrating the quality of the characters and sound effects. Dave Upchurch and Simon Clays of Nintendo Magazine System, official Nintendo magazine, praised the game's crisp visuals, audio department, and gameplay, but felt that the 3D effect was merely cosmetic and criticized its short length. Next Generation remarked that while it appeared to be more hardcore Mario fans, it was not advanced compared to older Mario games, and they felt the 3D mechanic did not add much to the game. Game Zero magazine's Brian Carter gave high remarks to the game's 3D graphics, soundscapes, controls, and longevity. N64 magazine's Jason Moore wrote that the Virtual Boy was the most ignored and slated of all Nintendo consoles, yet Warioland is a typical slice of Nintendo excellence and should have sold the machine by the millions. Retrospective coverage. Retrospective commentary for Virtual Boy Warioland has been more favorable, being celebrated as one of the best Virtual Boy games. Augustin Olvera and Stephen Smith of Combo felt that its cavernous setting helped the Virtual Boy emphasize subtle visual details, while Play's Dave Halverson returned to the game often and praised it for not getting tiresome to replay. All Game Scott Allen Marriott found the game fun, highlighting Wario's controls and diverse moveset, as well as the detailed graphics and bosses, but noted its short duration. Nintendo Life's Dave Freer lauded the game's use of the 3D effect in the visual design and replayability, but lamented the lack of additional levels. Retro Gamer opinion that the background gimmick helped enhance an otherwise traditional platformer, while the Australian video game talk show Good Game felt that more could have been done with its visuals. Writing for OneUp.com Nintendo World Report, Neil Ronigan enjoyed the background gimmick but felt that it did not work as well as it could in exploring the concept. Games Radar called Virtual Boy Warioland a legitimately awesome platformer, despite its lacking 3D gimmick, while Kotaku's Ben Bertoli felt that it was unappreciated at release due to its platform. Polygon's Kyle Hilliard stated that despite being less popular than all other Wario games, it was the best Wario game. He discussed how, even though it was his first time playing it, he felt nostalgic due to its use of familiar elements from the first Warioland entry. He also praised the 3D effects, particularly the boss battles. Several outlets hope to see it re-released on other Nintendo platforms, especially the Nintendo 3DS, including IGN, Games Radar, Destructoid, and Retronauts. Game Legacy. Virtual Boy Warioland inspired multiple games from several developers due to its background gimmick, including Donkey Kong Country Returns in 2010 by Retro Studios, Mutant Mudds 2012 by Renegade Kid, and Shantae Advance Risky Revolution 2025 by Way Forward. In 2016, Renegade Kid co-founder Jules Watson revealed that he proposed a color remake of the game for Nintendo 3DS to Nintendo, but never received a response, reportedly due to Nintendo not wanting to revisit the Virtual Boy. All information in the video today was provided by Wikipedia.